Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. This is our October evening meeting. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming. And I'll call the meeting to order. And I'll ask if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. Tonight, I don't see any. Offer regrets from our Deputy Mayor Anderson and Councillor Gunson and, Councillor Gunson's here, Councillor Elliott and Councillor Potnevitz. So that is, those three folks are absent. So there's four of us here this evening, and I'm not sure if that's ever happened before, but we'll continue on with the meeting. I have a resolution moved by Councillor Zimmerman, second by Councillor Gunson. Minutes of the Town of Minto, October 7th, 2025 regular council meeting be approved. All in favor of the motion? It's carried. Thank you. Resolution moved by Councillor Zimmerman, second by Councillor Dirksen, that the Town of Minto convene into committee of the whole. All in favor of that motion? It's carried. Thank you. We have no public meetings. We have no delegations. And it's public question period. So I am not going to read my little spiel here this evening. I don't see the need. We'll go on to correspondence. We have one item, correspondence, has to do with this is Jan Simpson, QP National President from Public Postal Service. I have a recommendation moved by Councillor Gunson, second by Councillor Zimmerman, that the council receives the correspondence as information. If there's any that you want to talk about this evening, all in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. We have committee minutes for approval. We have the DEI and inclusion meeting minutes from September 18th, and I'll ask Belinda Wick-Graham to present those minutes.
Thank you, Mayor Turton. So these are the minutes from September 18th, and the committee discussed at this meeting some signage that they've thrown around for the last few meetings. They finally decided on a design to celebrate belonging and inclusiveness in our community. So that will be a project for early 2026. Also happy to report that the community pantries are being very well received. We haven't had any issues since we've moved the Clifford pantry indoors. They are being very well used, so we are looking for people to continue to leave what you can at those locations. Just thank the library again for letting us host those there, and to Dave and Jean for their support in the effort as well. The Indigenous celebration was held on September 27th. I'm going to save the outcomes of that event until our next council meeting, because we're reporting on it this Thursday at our next meeting. We also held our community accessibility audits and presentation, which again was well received, and we will report further on that the next meeting. The clothing swap was held on Saturday. I will say we had just under 100 people attend that, and we'll have more to report next meeting as well. So this group had a very ambitious action plan and has completed almost everything in the plan this year. So really proud of the work that they've done, and look forward to updating you at the next meeting on their work.
So we have a recommendation moved by Councillor Dirksen, second by Councillor Zimmerman, that the council receives the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee minutes of September 18th, 2025, and approves any recommendations contained therein. Questions for Belinda? I'm very proud of this committee as well. We have a great group of people, and we've accomplished a lot this year. Looking to bigger, better things in the future. It's amazing. If there's no questions, I'm going to call the question. All in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. So we'll go on to the next one. It has, let's see, ECDEV committee minutes from September 18th.
Yeah.
Belinda, please.
September 18th was a busy day. The Economic Development Committee met in the afternoon, sorry. They reviewed all the downtown minutes, also ratified the community improvement grants that they had approved during June to September. And then the meat of the meeting was all about reviewing the data from the business retention expansion surveys. We did complete 82 surveys within like 7 weeks. So it was a pretty aggressive schedule. And we're happy to report we've completed that project. Our committee did a lot of action planning, and they will be meeting again next Thursday to finalize the action plan. And then on November 27th, we'll be hosting a business breakfast where we will present the final report and the actions coming out of that. So folks can still register to attend that breakfast. So that's basically what that meeting was about. And prior to that, we had a great corporate call tour at Pike Lake. So thanks to the Cowans for hosting us there.
So the recommendation is moved by Councillor Gunson, seconded by Councillor Dirksen. Council receives the Economic Development Planning Committee minutes of September 18th, 2025 and approves any recommendations contained therein. Questions for Belinda? Certainly enjoyed our trip to Pike Lake. It was amazing. We did a great job. We were on golf carts and we toured. So it was terrific.
Can I just add?
Yes, go
We
ahead.
did not attach the results of the survey to the minutes because we're saving that for the final report to present to everyone in case people are wondering where the results are.
No questions? All in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you.
Mhm.
Cultural Roundtable minutes from September 22nd.
Yep. So from September 22nd, the group reviewed all the Railway Heritage Museum Committee minutes. We also were briefed on the upcoming events for Culture Days. The Culture Bus, which was a part of that, also was in the final stages. And then we went through our cultural action plan and decided what still needed to be done on that. Some of the items are a little bit slower. It's been a really busy year on some fronts. So some things that we were hoping to get done this year are unfortunately not going to get completed, but will be done in Q1 of 2026. I think that's it for that.
Okay, so we have a recommendation moved by Councillor Zimmerman, seconded by Councillor Dirksen. Council received the Cultural Roundtable Committee minutes of September 22nd. 2025 and approves any recommendation contained therein. Questions for Belinda? You were the minute taker. Obviously, you do a great job of taking minutes and presenting.
I'm not the minute taker at all of the meetings, only at DEI. Aaron does a great job of taking
Okay,
the
thank
Economic
you.
Development and Culture Roundtable minutes.
Okay, all in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. Staff reports. We've got a Plan 2025-022, B6425, and B6525, and B6625. 262-6514 Ontario Limited. This is Severance. 200 to 206 Elgin Street, Palmerston. And I'm going to ask Sama to enlighten us on this, please.
Okay, again, this report is for 3 consent applications, B 64-25, B 65-25, and the B 66-25 for residential severances at 200 to 206 Elgin Street, Palmerston, and is currently under consideration by the County of Wellington Land Division Committee. The proposal is to create 3 new residential lots from an existing 4-unit townhouse property in order to separate the townhouse units into individual parcels and allow each unit to have its own land ownership and can be sold separately. As you can see on the screen,
Sorry, we're just having some microphone.
Oh, no, that's 2.
same. Is that okay?
How far do you want the zoning to go back? Give me one start to the report.
So I just see on the screen, our top five, the proposal is 7 square meter with 8.7 meter of frontage. Our part three, the proposal is to sever a new lot of roughly 200.1 square meter with 7.2 meter of frontage. And our part two, the proposal is to sever a lot of about 200 feet, 0.4 square meter, also with 7.2 meter of frontage. The return parcel shown as part one is around 413.7 square meter. An easement is also proposed over part 4 and 6 to benefit parts 2 and 3. This will allow access to the rear of the properties for servicing and maintenance. The property is zoned medium density residential and designated residential in the official plan. The proposal meets the requirements of zoning bylaw, official plan, and the provincial policy statement for the creation of new residential lots within urban boundaries. Town staff support the application and recommend approval subject to the two conditions outlined in the staff report, including satisfaction of all financial requirements and parkland deduction. And the second is zoning compliance, which must be achieved for certain provisions of the town's zoning bylaw, including the rear yard setback and minimum lot area. Wes and I are here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Okay, so recommendation moved by Councillor Zimmerman, second by Councillor Gunson, that the Council of the Town of Minto recommends to the County of Wellington Land Division Committee that approve consent application B 6425 and B 6525 and B 6625, 262-6514 Ontario Limited for land legally described as Mary Caswell's Survey, part lots 76 and 77, RP 61R 22277, part 2, with the municipal address of 200-206 Elgin Street, Palmerston, in the town of Minto, and that the following conditions be considered. Three conditions, pardon me, financial and otherwise, which the town of Minto may deem necessary for the proper and orderly development of the subject lands, including but not limited to the payment of any monies owed to the town of Minto and ensuring that all accounts are in good standing. Parkland dedication as provided for in the Planning Act RSO 1990, including, where applicable, paying cash in lieu of parkland in the amount of $500 per lot, or as specified in the applicable policy of the town, and further the town of Minto file this with the Secretary Treasurer of the Planning and Land Division Committee a letter of clearance of this condition, that zoning compliance be achieved to the satisfaction of the town of Minto. Further, that the town of Minto file with the Secretary Treasurer and the Planning and Land Division Committee a letter of clearance of this condition. Questions for Sama? Sorry, Councillor Gunson. go
Maybe
ahead,
a
sir.
silly question. Why is that whole parcel not a rectangle though? Why is it got a weird cutout at the corner of Elgin Street? Is that what, okay.
Go ahead. Councillor Dirksen, I was reading here. I apologize
that-
for ignoring you.
No, I'm not feeling ignored. It's all good. This might also be a silly question. Is Elgin Street does not appear to be an open street, or is it just the angle? Like, it looks like it has trees growing in the middle of the street.
It was newly created. It was newly created, I think 2 years ago. So I think in all the satellite views, it's not there, but there's a street
Okay.
with no top coat yet.
Yes, okay. I was sure it was there, but then this picture
Mhm.
would indicate otherwise. So, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Some of these buildings are under construction presently.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Okay, you don't see any issues here? We're, basically, the bottom line is, we're intending to sever and sell.
I think there is no issues, but the applicant needs to apply for a minor variance application to get relief for rear yard setback and also for a minimum lot area.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Going to call the question then, all in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. We'll go on to the second item. It's Plan 2025-023, B6725. It's 262-6514 Ontario Limited. I've heard that number before. It's a severance. 300 Bolton Street in Palmerston. So Sama, would you please present the report?
Sure, thank you. This report is for consent application B67-25 for a residential severance at Bolton Street, Palmerston, which is currently under consideration by the County of Wellington Land Division Committee. The proposal is to create a new residential lot of approximately 533 square meter with 40.2 meter of frontage on vacant land along Bolton Street within the urban boundary of Palmerston. This new lot is intended for a single detached dwelling. As shown in the severed sketch, the severed parcel is L-shaped, and the narrow long portion of this lot is intended to provide services to the new dwelling unit from Bolton Street. The retained parcel would be approximately 800 square meter in area with 7.1 meter of frontage on Bolton Street and currently contains a semi-detached dwelling. The property is zoned minimum density residential and designated residential in the official plan. The proposal meets the requirements of the zoning bylaw official plan and the provincial policy statement for the creation of new residential lots within urban boundaries. Town staff recommend that council support the application and that the county's land division committee approved it, subject to the 6 conditions outlined in the staff report, which includes standard conditions such as ensuring all accounts are in good standing, confirming satisfactory accesses, and obtaining an entrance permit from the road authority. And the second is zoning compliance, which must be achieved for certain provision of the town zoning bylaw, including frontage and rear yard setback. For the proposed new dwelling unit on the severed lot. A 2-meter access easement for Brunswick Street to the rear of the interior unit of the on the retained lot. Actually, this is another condition, and staff also have identified that the existing side deck on the retained parcel will need to be removed due to the depths of service required for the new lot. The interior side yard line will also be realigned as excavation for the services would otherwise affect the deck's structural integrity. Public Works noted that the grading, drainage, and servicing plan must be submitted for the new lot, and right-of-way work will be required for the development of the severed parcel to ensure proper servicing. All costs will be solely the responsibility of the developer. That was my report, and if you have any question, we will happy to answer.
Okay, we have a recommendation moved by Councillor Gunson, seconded by Councillor Dirksen, that the Council of the Town of Minto recommends the County of Wellington Land Division Committee approve consent application B6725 2626514 Ontario Limited for land legally described as Survey Fuller and Watson's Part Lot 109 RP 61R 22056, Part 1, with the municipal address of 300 Bolton Street, Palmerston, in the town of Minto, and that the following conditions be met. There's 6 conditions. I'm sure everybody has read them, but I can read them. I think Sama has went over this very well, so.
Yeah, I mentioned the conditions in my like report and presentation, so I think
Okay,
we're good to go.
all right. Questions for Sama? Sounds pretty straightforward as long as he conforms to all the conditions. So this is going to the County Land Division, so if there's no questions on this, I'm gonna call the question. All in favor of the motion? It's carried. All right, we're moving right along. So we have Plan 2025-024, B7125. It's the Shill Land Holdings, Inc., 6467, third line. And I'll ask Sama to present the report.
This consent application B 71-25 for a severance at 6467 third line is currently under review by the County of Wellington Land Division Committee. The proposal is to sever approximately 0.49 hectare with 3.4 meter of frontage from a parcel of agricultural land for rural residential use. The severed parcel includes an existing 2-story dwelling and 2 sheds, that the shed located behind the existing house will be demolished. The retained parcel will be approximately 41.2 hectare with 374.8 meter of frontage and will have an existing shed. An easement of 0.027 hectare is proposed over the retained parcel in favor of the severed lot for an overhead hydro line. The property is zoned agricultural and natural environment and designated prime agricultural and green lands and core green lands in the official plan, which generally restricts new lot creation except for specific cases such as a residential surplus to a farming operation, and this application as a surplus dwelling severance meets the requirements of the zoning bylaw, official plan, and the provincial policy statement. Town staff recommend that council support the application and that the county's land division committee approve it, subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report, which include standard conditions such as ensuring all accounts are in good standing, confirming satisfactory access, and addressing the rain apportionment. And the next is rezoning the retained farm parcel to prohibit residential development as a result of the severance. And the last one is removal of the shed on the retained parcel, as the staff note some concerns that the agricultural portion of the retained parcel may not be easily accessed or utilized by the owner of retained parcel. I would be happy to answer any question you may have.
Thank you, Sama. The recommendation is moved by Councillor Zimmerman, seconded by Councillor Dirksen, that the council of the town of Minto recommend the County of Wellington Land Division Committee approve consent application B7125, the Shill Land Holdings, Inc., for the land legally described as concession 2, lot 11, with the municipal address of 6467, third line in the town of Minto, that the following conditions be considered. And there is 4 conditions. And I'm not going to read them. You okay with that? Questions? Councillor Dirksen.
Thank you, Mayor Turton. So in the background and purpose, it says that the retained parcel will be this size and is proposed to retain the existing shed. Now, I might be getting my sheds mixed up here. But then number 4 condition is that the shed is demolished. Are they talking about the same shed?
Yes, exactly. The applicant proposed to like to keep this shed on the retained parcel, but as the door of the existing shed faces to the several lot and the staff has concerns about like access to the shed, it was one of the conditions that the shed needs to be removed.
Okay, what if they, I don't know, change the doors, put them on the other side? That's not impossible, right? I'm just like, that's, if I'm picturing the right shed here, I think it's one of the better buildings on the property, so it just seems a shame to take that down. Or maybe I'm thinking about the wrong shed, I don't know. It
So
looks like there's about 3 of them here.
It is, it's fairly clear on the picture. Can you blow up the picture? So it's top left there. That's the driving shed that's going to remain. And then on the bottom,
Mhm.
can you scroll up just a bit, Quinn? There we go, the old shed to be removed.
Oh, I see. Okay, so this one is staying then. The one closest to the road is staying.
Yeah, if I may, I can just point it on the screen.
Yeah, thanks,
Yes,
Wes.
please. Okay,
So this.
sorry, I
one's
did not
going-
blow this
one-
up enough to read it.
This one's gonna be split by the new lot line. It's going for sure. There's a
Okay.
smaller accessory shed up here. It's retained on the new lot. It's staying. And our condition right now is that this door opens up to this lot line, and it's staff's opinion that there's not sufficient room to get the agricultural equipment in there. So that is the shed that you want to go, that's retained on the farm. So I'm not sure if that answers your question or not. That is what I know of the buildings.
Well, I guess I'm just thinking it's pretty easy just to stud up that wall that's on the wrong side and put doors on the other side, but anyway. That's up to the owner, I guess, to argue that point, so I won't. Thank you, but I was mixed up on which shed was
Yep.
which.
So he's well aware of these conditions.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Other questions? Be a nice rural lot. Somebody. So if there's no further questions, I'm gonna call the question. All in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you, Sama.
Yeah.
Next item is our CAO report. 2025-007 is a renewal of programs and services agreement 2026 from Maitland Valley 2026 to 2030. It's the Maitland Valley Conservation Authority. I'll ask our CAO, Mr. Greg Furtney, to present this report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Very quickly, in 2022, June of 2022, the town of Minto entered into an agreement with the Maitland Valley Conservation Authority for their programs and services agreement. And Mr. Phil Beard was here, the general manager of Maitland Valley Conservation last week, or the last meeting, I'm sorry. And also Councillor Podnovitz, who's also a representative from Minto on the board for Maitland Valley Conservation Authority, presented on some of the programs and services and projects they've been doing over the last number of years. So in going through this process, they are interested in renewing this agreement, programs and services agreement, for 2026 to 2030. And all the programs and services will remain the same as they have been. There's only one change to the agreement, and that it was the wording. They changed the word levy to cost apportionment, which aligns better with what the current legislation is. And that was the only change. So what we're asking council to consider is to renew this agreement with the Maitland Valley Conservation Authority from 2026 to 2030.
Okay, recommendation moved by Councillor Gunson, seconded by Councillor Zimmerman, that the Council of the Town of Minto hereby receives report CAO 2025-007. It's a renewal of programs and services agreement from 2026 to 2030. Maitland Valley Conservation Authority, prepared by the Chief Administrative Officer for information purposes. And further that, the Council of the Town of Minto agrees to the changes within the agreement and passes a bylaw, open session directing the mayor and the clerk to sign an agreement on behalf of the town of Minto. Questions for our CAO? Pretty standard. We've been doing it for the last 4 years. That wording change isn't that extensive, so all in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. We're down to announcements. Councillor Gunson, do you want to lead us in this?
Sure. I know Paul's got a whole bunch of announcements over there. I'll just report that the Palmerston 81s have started their season. They played on Saturday at home, and they won the game 6-1 against Shelburne. And I'll let Paul talk about the rest because he's got all the details over there. Just the Palmerston firefighter breakfast, but I didn't write all the details down. So, Paul, that's yours.
You're lucky you've got Councillor Zimmerman to report, so I'll
That's
ask Councillor Dirksen, do you want to go next?
I'm just going to defer to Councillor Zimmerman as well. He looks well prepared.
Well, thank
Go
you.
ahead, Reporter Zimmerman.
Well, thank you, Mayor and Council. It's my pleasure to introduce this week's announcements. So I hope that everyone has purchased their advance tickets for tomorrow night's turkey dinner at the Harrison United Church. One sitting at 5
It's sold
p.m.
out, Paul.
It's sold out,
Yep.
perfect. Well, we'll see you all there tomorrow then. So then we move to Friday. From 10:30 to 11:30 at the Harrison Library, sponsored by the Horticultural Society, since Deputy Mayor Anderson isn't here. They're gonna have a pumpkin painting event, all supplies provided, you just need to call the library to register. So,
Is that for seniors or?
it could be if you're into painting pumpkins, why not? So then Friday, October 24th, from 5 to 7 p.m., Clifford Rotary Club is holding a drive-through only smoked pork chop dinner. And I don't know if there's any tickets left for that. They're $20 each. Pick it up at the Clifford Community Hall. And you could call Randy at 519-510-9787 just to check to see if there is tickets yet. I don't know. And then we're kicking off Halloween season in Harrison. And just a heads up, from 4 to 9 p.m., Elora Street from the stoplights to Mill Street is going to be closed to traffic to allow for the downtown Harrison Rising annual Halloween haunt. And we heard from Belinda that there's 400 kids taking part in the trick or treat thing, dressed in costume, the whole ball of wax. The special note is bring your own bag because we're not supplying them this year. So if you haven't pre-registered, I'm sorry, you're not going to get your child in there, but for the 400 that did, have fun. 7 to 10 p.m. that same night is a youth ages dance at the Harrison Legion. Dress in costume and just come and have a ball. There's free entry, pop and snacks available for sale. And the parents are certainly welcome to wade in the clubhouse for their teenage kids. Then we'll move on to the next day, the 25th. Well, actually, that's not true. Creatures of Clifford is returning for the second year. So that's the Decorate Your House contest in Clifford. And Mayor Turton and Deputy Mayor Anderson and myself and our spouses have volunteered to be judges again this year. 4 different categories and gift cards for Think Minto First. Places to spend your money at if you're the winners. Judging will be between the 25th and the 28th. The winners will be announced on the 30th. And let's see, October 28th. That's not right. Why do I have that in there? Anyway, on the 25th, from 3 to 10 p.m., Allen Street East in Clifford is going to be closed to traffic, and that is Clifford Connects is hosting first ever Halloween harvest. And that's going to be for all ages in Rotary Park. It's bring your own carved pumpkin to the gazebo to be judged. There's vendors, games, pie eating contest for people that like pie. Glow party and s'mores, and there's just so much to do. It's crazy. And then the next day on the 26th, as Councillor Johnson said, Palmerston firefighters are holding their annual breakfast at the community center. Admission is by donation, and bring your appetite. There's way more to do than that, but that's just kind of the highlights. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, reporter. Are you going to be taking your pumpkin, the one that you're working on at the library on Friday, to Clifford on Saturday?
Well, I don't think so. My artistic flair isn't just the best.
Okay, so I'm just going to report quickly on our Legion Cenotaph ceremonies. This year, Boyne, the county service is November 5th, which is a Wednesday, November 5th. That's 10:30 at Boyne. And then on November 9th at 2 p.m. in Clifford. November 11th, obviously, Palmerston, Hairston both have the 11 a.m. Service. So I invite everyone to come out to that. November 11th this year is a Tuesday. But if you can't make it out on Tuesday, you can certainly go to Clifford on the 9th, because that's a Sunday. Sorry, yeah, November 9th is a Sunday, so. And I was going to report on our Santa Claus parades, but they can wait. Well, maybe they can't. Get them in your calendar. It's Hairston, November 22nd, 7 p.m. Clifford is the 29th at 7 p.m. And December 6th in Palmerston, and I'm pretty sure it's 6 p.m. So check those out. There is always a lot of activity around Santa Claus.
Those are all Saturdays?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But thank you, Paul, for doing that. I mean, that's really good. I think you got something else, right?
I was going to ask you to give us an update on the arena
Oh.
ice situation.
Can certainly do that. So everybody's well aware, we had a little issue in the Hairston Arena. We had a leak in our chiller. Anybody that wants to know about chillers can give me a call. You have my number. So the chiller was brought from Clifford to Hairston, and it was installed and inspected last Wednesday night, which was a week ago tomorrow night. Passed with flying colors. It was the system was started up on Friday, and that was, sorry, I haven't got the date for that, but they're doing some flooding in the arena presently as we speak. So the transition certainly it was certainly unpredictable. The hole in the chiller. So we're hoping for good things to happen going forward. We're anticipating that everything's going to work fine. And we certainly appreciate the flexibility in our user groups. You know, by having the Hairston Arena closed for an extra month, doesn't make many people very happy, but thank you to all involved. We thank the contractors and the folks that did the work for us. Certainly went very, very nice, good results. So, and again, our user groups, we thank them very much for being so considerate in this challenging time. But we're moving right ahead, and as far as I know, things are good. So, any questions? You can call our CAO, Greg Fertney. But things are looking very good for a couple of weeks from now. I'm sure we're going to be skating on that ice, or maybe before. So, thank you for your patience. We have a resolution moved by Councillor Dirksen, seconded by Councillor Gunson, that the committee of the whole convene into regular council. All in favor of that motion? I should say, Mr. Pertney, did you have anything to add to that, or did I cover everything in reference to the arena?
Through you, sir, no, everything you've said is very accurate, and again, we appreciate the council and staff and the user groups for their patience.
Thank you. Notices of motion. Anything under that heading? Seeing none, we have a resolution moved by Councillor Zimmerman, seconded by Councillor Gunson, that the Council of Town of Minto ratifies motion made in committee of the whole. All in favor of that motion? That's carried. Bylaws. 2025-055 is the memorandum of understanding for the MVCA. And the resolution moved by Councillor Dirksen, seconded by Councillor Gunson, that bylaw 2025-055 be read a first, second, and third time, passed in open council and sealed with the seal of the corporation. All in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. Confirmatory moved by Councillor Gunson, seconded by Councillor Zimmerman. Bylaw 2025-056 to confirm actions of the council, corporation, Town of Minto respecting a meeting held October 21st, 2025 be read a first, second, and third time, passed in open council and sealed with the seal of the corporation. All in favor of that motion? That's carried. Adjournment. Resolution moved by Councillor Zimmerman, seconded by Councillor Dirksen, that the Council of Town of Minto adjourn to meet again at the call of the mayor. Thank you very much. All in favor of that motion? Thank you for a very swift meeting.